To an extent, it did.
Okay. I have this theory. I don't like, and I have talked to other lawyers as well, which I have, it's my self-made theory that there is one moment or one event in a lawyer's life after which he starts considering himself as a lawyer. Like before that, uh, he is like advocate by registration or enrollment. But after that moment or after that case or event, he considered himself confident. Okay, now I can handle cases. So, what
Mhm.
was that moment for you?
Okay, Kapil, I'll tell you frankly, uh, I can't recall of just one particular single moment where I could say that, you know, after this particular thing, things started changing, or something drastically happened in one single event. But I would say there were a couple of series of major events which happened over a period of 25 years and which actually changed the, you know, what do you call it, the dimension, I would say. In the sense, it's like it's the first time you argue a major case, or the first time you do trial, or the first time you interact with a very important client. So it's a combination of various factors which actually build up over a period of time and which ultimately change the perspective in that sense. But I can still recall of one particular thing which I would consider as something which really mattered to me a lot. This was when I was working with Mr. P.H. Parekh, a senior advocate in the Supreme Court. And there was this particular matter, a legal aid matter, which was under the NDPS Act. Now, this was coming before a three-judge bench for final argument. And usually in, Parekh and Company, it used to be that in most of the matters, seniors are engaged in the matter for arguing matters. And it so happened that the matter was listed suddenly for hearing on the next day, and there was no counsel available for appearing in the matter. And Mr. Parekh was also at that time engaged in some important matter, and he was also not available. So then he asked me whether I will be able to do it, you know. So I said, of course, this was something which I was waiting from a very long time, and I instantly grabbed that opportunity. And I still recall I um, studied the whole night that case, prepared, did research, all that. And the next day, the matter was listed. It went on the whole day, and I argued the matter. And we succeeded in obtaining the a bail for the accused, our client. And that really, I mean, I really felt elated at that point. I felt that this was something which I would have otherwise never got an opportunity to do. And I would feel that is one of my, most cherished moments, which I really um, still recall very distinctly. So I don't recollect the name of the case, but it was a sort of a milestone, I would say, and uh, which was also reported, and I got a lot of praise in office as well, and I felt very happy about that. So that was the really turn. I mean, say not the turning point, but it was something of a good moment of success or something of that sort.
And actually, like if you get some boost or confidence, it actually helps you in your practice. Okay,
Absolutely,
and
absolutely. See, Kapil, to be very honest, all lawyers are, who are wanting to come up, are looking for opportunities. You know, see, a good lawyer is someone who has really got more opportunities than others. So it is all about whether somebody is willing to risk you or not. You know, more opportunities, the better lawyer you will become. So it's all about that one big opportunity which changes the course of your life. So that's how it works. And in my case, that was what happened. So I felt very happy about it, and I'm very grateful to Mr. Parik for giving me that one opportunity.
okay, so I understand like that law is all about guru shishya parampara, like mentors. Like you need mentors. Very rare or very few people are there who build up their practice on their own. A mentor's role is required. So, who have been your mentors throughout this 25 years of practice?
uh, Kapil, I would say maybe in mentor wise, I would say my father, of course. He has been the biggest factor for guiding me and putting me in the right track, because uh, he was always willing to give me opportunities at the risk of losing a client. So mentor, see, I would not say mentor is the right word, but somebody who's willing to risk his own practice for ensuring that you succeed, is someone who would be like a mentor. So even Mr. Parekh, for that matter. But with Mr. Parekh, what used to happen was he had so many cases that it was not possible for him to appear in every case. So by default, we used to get several matters which we could appear and argue or handle on our own. So in a way, he was also a mentor for me, and I would therefore say that my father and Mr. Parekh are my mentors who have really helped me in moving ahead in this profession.
Good. So, let's talk about COVID 19, like how COVID 19 lockdown affected your practice, because initially the courts were totally closed and everything went haywire. So, how it has affected your practice?
Well, Kapil, COVID-19 has certainly affected practice of many people, and I certainly am not an exception in any way. And I would say certainly it has made a big dent, you know, in my practice. But it is now gradually we are trying to crawl back and get back into our rhythm. But yes, initially it was very tough because nobody had a clue how to go about, how to go about moving around, and in the way the things have to be handled. Or but now we have virtual hearing, and we have even arbitrations which I'm doing by way of virtual hearing. So things are now showing improvement, but it is still not what it was pre-COVID time. So yeah, I'm sure it will take some more time, but it will eventually change. But yes, you are right. COVID 19 has really seriously affected uh, the practice of many people, and certainly the income has gone down. And but it is something which we could not uh, plan in a way. But yes, people who are more into corporate practice did not really get affected that much. And yes, people who were into what you call litigation, pure litigation, court practice, were seriously affected. But yes, things are now showing improvement, and hope everything will be fine by next year.
Uh, okay, during your long practice, like 25 years, if you recall, 25 years back, there were, I think, only two district courts, and now there are seven district courts. Like, how was that transition? Like from two district courts to seven district courts, how it has affected? And why I'm asking you this question is because now that was a drastic change from two to seven was a drastic. There was only Patiala House and Tees Hazari, and then small Shahadra court was there. But with like from March, like February 23rd, like to be exact, until now, there has been a drastic change in practice. So, how do you see this change or in this practice areas?
Well, Kapil, certainly very good, because I see ultimately we need to understand one thing, that courts are meant to give justice for litigants, and it is not for the convenience of lawyers. So if we require more district courts to cater to the client's interest, then it should be that way. And I am fully in favor of that, because ultimately, if a court can function better by having more districts and by distributing work, then certainly that is uh, more necessary and important. So yes, initially the matters in when I started practice in 1996, they were only very probably it was only Patiala House and Tees Hazari, and Patiala House used to handle only criminal cases, while Tees Hazari was handling only civil matters and civil and criminal matters. So initially it was like that, but even the jurisdiction of High Court was very less. It was around 5 lakhs or even less than 5 lakhs. And then suddenly the matters were all distributed to the district courts, and it started, so cases grew, and therefore there was a necessity for, uh, having more courts, because Delhi is quite big and populated, and therefore there is a reason why we need so many district courts to cater to the client's interest. So yes, it is good, and at the same time necessary, and it is uh, important for the general growth of litigation in this state. So I am fully in favor of it.
Good. Good to understand your viewpoint. And how has been your like lockdown been? Like, what have you been doing when courts were shut down? How did you spend your time in lockdown time?
Yeah, so Kapil, initially lockdown, nobody had a clue how to go about things, because uh, nobody had any clear knowledge of corona and stuff like that. So we were all inside doing our own stuff. I did a lot of cleaning, I would believe, and a lot of cooking, and then I attended a lot of YouTube lectures. There are on various aspects, where there are so many good, wonderful teachers who are there, who regularly upload a lot of these law lectures, or any other or on any other subject for that matter. And those were so interesting and informative, and I was really benefited by all these lectures, because there were several lectures which I attended on evidence and CPC and criminal law, and so it was a kind of a time to refresh your knowledge and update your skills and stuff like that. So I spent a lot of time on YouTube. And benefited also a lot by doing so. So that was it.
Thank you, Arun, for sharing your uh, e- experience of the lockdown and what did you do. On a parting remark, like what would you like to give some message to young lawyers who are also going through rough time during this lockdown period?
Okay, Kapil, I must tell you one thing that the youngsters who are now entering the profession are are very very focused and very very energetic compared to our times. When I entered the profession, we actually did not have a clue of how to go about things. I was, of course, lucky in the sense that I had somebody to guide me. And but in our times when we entered in '96, it was it was something like that you had to go through the grind, and there was no question of having any sort of instant success. And but today's generation who are entering the profession are in a way much better off because they can um, get reasonably good success in a shorter period of time. But yes, of course, you have to be patient and you need to um, just pursue with your routine. And one thing which I would encourage young lawyers to do is to read up a lot of judgments and make it a habit of reading judgments on a daily basis because it really helps in two ways. It helps the lawyer in improving his legal knowledge, firstly. It also helps the lawyer in improving his drafting skills and also helps the lawyer in analyzing and you know you know preparing a particular case. So this is something which I would um, want youngsters to do. And nowadays with the technology, this is so easily available that you can make the most of it.
Okay, thank you, Arun, for sharing this with us. Thank
So
you
Kapil, thank you.
taking out your valuable time.
Thank you so much for having me here. We'll try to have another meeting sometime in near future and discuss more aspects of law. It is really encouraging and it is so useful. And I think this is a good platform you have started, Kapil, that you are inquiring the different sides of legal fraternity, and it'll be good for everyone in knowing and improving as a person. And so thank you so much for doing this, Kapil, and taking this initiative. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Arun. So, my friends, this was Arun Francis, who is a lawyer at Delhi High Court. So, I'll come back again with you guys and with a new friend. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you. Bye for now.
Thank you.